Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Welcome back. This is Elephant Exposed from TNTBS. I am your host, CJ Jones, and this is my main man, my ride or die partner, Mr. Duane Stinson. How you doing? How you doing?
What's up? What's up, everybody? Let's
Yes,
get it.
sir. Okay, listen, we're not even gonna waste no time on this one. I'm gonna try to be I'm gonna try to be as lighthearted as I can about this, but still approach it from um a serious side, if you will. Basically, we're just gonna give you guys another perspective, if you will, about the comment that came from my man, Mr. Cam Newton. Seems that he seemed to ruffle a few feathers. To me, it was comical. But we're gonna look into it here in just a minute, and we're just gonna try to dissect it, and everything, and try to, I say, for lack of a better phrase, try to educate ourselves on what my man was really trying to say. So here we go.
Bad bitch is a person who's just, you know, girl, I'm a bad bitch. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I look the part, but I don't act the part.
Okay.
And it's a lot of women who are bad bitches, and I say bitches in a way not to degrade a woman, but just to go off the aesthetic of what they deem is a boss chick. Now, a woman for me is handling your own, but knowing how to cater to a man's needs, right? And I think a lot of times when you get that aesthetic of like, I'm a boss bitch, like I'm a this, I'm a that, no, baby, like, but you can't cook.
Okay.
You don't know when to be quiet. You don't know how to allow a man to lead.
All right.
Whoa.
Okay.
Now, see, that's the first time I've seen it. Like, I heard people talking about it, and I got
Yeah.
already, I got a few thoughts about it. You know what I'm talking about? You know, what you, hey, how you want to do this thing? We want to use
No,
the butter.
David,
You want
David,
to use the butter
I want to
knife?
hear, I want to hear what you got to say about it.
Well, the first thing is the podcast that he was on. At first, I thought he was being interviewed by like ESPN or somebody. Somebody that was sports related.
Oh.
He was on, I forgot the name of their podcast. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But so already he was talking like he talking to the bros. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
this between we talking, this right. I don't know why he don't understand that he's at that point of celebrity that whatever he say, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter what platform you're on, it's going everywhere. Therefore,
Right. Mhm.
the powers that be gonna get it and do what they're gonna do with it. So
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, so like taking it from that angle, I kind of equate this type of conversation, even though it is a podcast. And shout out to my guy who did it. And they had the interview with him and everything, because not everybody can get big stars and stuff on their podcast. I would love to try to get some big stars on my show. But this is to me, this is like the equivalent of barbershop talk.
exactly.
Uh,
Exactly.
so um and again, the pushback that he got from this. I mean, when it's first, splashed, like, what was it, like a few weeks ago, and everybody was all up in all, and I say everybody, it wasn't everybody. It was mostly your, and again, this is called Elephant Exposed, so I'm gonna say who it is. Okay. It is the single, lonely, trifling, no good for nothing, trying to be a boss, women out here, feminists and beta males that really
Exactly.
that really don't
Right.
know which end is which.
Right.
You and I both come from traditional upbringings.
Right.
I'll say it like that. Um and all inclusive, that means our faith in the Lord and stuff like that, for those of us who don't really understand what traditional heterosexual men come from. We're talking about that. Okay, so with all that being said, okay, let's go ahead and just break down the whole institution of marriage, if you will. Okay, the whole entire institution of marriage was rooted, grounded, and founded by God, period. Okay, and it was put into writing in this little book that we call the Bible. He lays out all the rules. And within the rules, ladies and gentlemen, there are roles. And within these roles, through inspiration from God to men, to write, men do this, women do this, children do this. And if everybody does their role, you will have a fruitful, productive life, marriage, family.
And you know what? If you look at America today, you can see the fruits and the rewards of doing it your own way. Think
When you
about
want
a
to
kid.
turn that pyramid upside down,
Right. You can't tell your kids what to do. You got to let your kids be your kid. They got to be whoever they want to be. If your child wants to be, if your
friend.
Right. If your little boy says he's a little girl, you can't tell him he's wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Woo, Jesus.
And the thing that get me too is he prefaced everything he said by a good woman to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He didn't say a good woman. He didn't say, like, he said to me. I'm telling you, because Cam Newton came up like we did. His dad was a preacher. Yep. He had a mom. He had his mom's in the house with his mom. And see, people think that he was trying to say that a woman's supposed to be home barefoot and pregnant. No, that's not what he was saying.
I don't know where he got that from. To me, that was the most asinine thing I've heard, because that was the approach. Well, you know what? That was the clickbait. That was the clickbait. The clickbait was like, Cam Newton talking and everything. That man has the First Amendment protections just like you and I.
Exactly.
And that, like you said, I'm 100%. That man was talking about his preference with the type of woman that he's not impressed with, and the type of woman that he's looking for. And I'm dead in line with him, because I keep telling, I keep sharing this thought, but it's like it really does feel like that male energy, period, is being attacked. Just my recording for last week, I was talking about negative male energy versus positive male traits, and there is a such thing as male toxic male energy.
Toxic,
but here's the thing, you said you have that same toxic female energy, and that's what seems to be running rampant throughout social media, throughout the world, and everything else.
And if you notice, to me, it seems like a lot of the male, the silencing of male, energy is a lot of. It seems like, to me, I guess just because I'm a black man, it seems like the black men, ain't nobody shutting up the white man. That's the most. That's the most powerful. I mean, I'm not saying none. I'm just saying perception. That's the most powerful person on this earth, is the white man. He controls. He the puppet master to all of this. But what you're doing, you're trying to silence our community. You're trying to tell a black man what he can and can't say. You tell a black man what he can and can't do. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna take it one step further, bro. Nothing is ever a problem until it affects somebody white.
Oh, exactly.
Nothing,
Opioid.
nothing. Think about it. I know if someone here that they're like, wait a minute, listen and pay attention. Nothing is ever really a problem until it affects, and this is what I would say, the right white kind of person, because it can affect white people, but there's a certain level, there's a certain status, there's a certain type of white person that it affects. Then all of a sudden we have an epidemic, we have a
Exactly.
problem, we have an issue, we got to address this situation. Why? Because now all of a sudden it affects you. I, what happened to the what happened to your empathy and your sympathy for humanity, period? But it didn't matter. It wasn't that bad. You want for people to get over it. It's not our problem. It's not our issue. You know,
I mean,
it's
we can take the two epidemics of crack
oh
and
God.
opioids, and that's a prime example. When
Oh
crack
yeah.
hit, and like you said, let's go ahead and get this out the way. This show, if this is your first time watching, if you saw the title and you said, "Well, I'm interested in this. Let me listen to these two guys." Don't think that we sit here. We are not racially motivated at all. We speak the truth here. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna. We love. It sounds cliche, like people say, "I got black friends." We love white people. We love Mexican people. We love Asian people. We love everybody. You know what I'm saying? This is
Yep.
not that type of show at all. But we gonna keep it real. Now, when
Yes.
the crack hemp epidemic hit, it was like, just look at them. Oh my God, they're like zombies. Just they need to be locked up. They need to be arrested. Oh, they're
Massive
selling it.
incarceration.
Yeah, they're selling it. They're smoking it. It's just, look at their communities. I mean, if you look at documentaries about crack, it looked almost like somebody had dropped an atomic bomb on our communities. I'm talking about look like ghost towns.
Yep.
I mean, and to tell you the truth, it had the same effect as some of the Oklahoma City bombings and the Wall Street bombings. It had the same effect.
Minus the
But
explosion.
right, but let's flip it to now we're dealing with opioid addiction,
And meth
some that,
labs.
right, exactly, meth labs, ice, what they call it, yeah. And so now it's like we got to have empathy for these people. You even see commercials about,
Oh yeah.
somebody's got a opioid addiction, all these nice little rehab places and stuff like that. And I think you can even claim it on your insurance. Exactly. You can even claim it on your insurance. And that's obviously the difference right there. The black man was demonized and made it seem like, oh, he just can't control himself. Look at his addiction. They even just said, even the Reagans just said, just say no.
No. Of course that was the it was time for election and stuff like that. And and to me, I think that's how they got over. Of course, they're going to politicize everything.
Right.
But yeah, so all I'm saying, guys, is the name of this show is called Elephant Exposed. In case if you didn't get it, it's the neon sign that's right above my head. We expose elephants, the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent. We don't care what it is. Okay. We around here, around these parts, a spade is a spade. Okay. And once you drop that spade, the spade stayed, bro. I don't care if you meant to play it or not. You wasted a spade. So that's what we do around here, man. We gonna, like I said, I mean, of course I heard about it, but of course, you got all these clickbait platforms out here that's just trying to get, likes and views and stuff, and they take things out of context, and so then people click on it, for just sensational purposes, and they everything is taken out of context. There was nothing wrong with what Mr. Cam Newton said at all. My man has a preference, just like you and I have a preference. You got women out here. I call them they have they call them sixers. They call them like the perfect six. 6
Mhm.
feet tall, 6-figure account and something else. And I'm like, okay, well, God bless you. You know,
Right.
that's what you like.
Mhm.
You know, you got some people out here that they like big girls, you know.
Mhm.
If you ain't 300 plus, they not even looking at you. Well, God bless you, bro. You know,
Right. Right.
everybody has a that's all I'm saying. Everybody has a preference. That's you. Ain't nobody's going to be like, oh, you shouldn't, or that's
Right.
discrimination, or whatever you trying to say, or that's negative male energy. Just because, but I think, but here's the thing though. I think why these women really got upset is because they are the ones that truly are trying to seek people like Mr. Cam Newton now.
Mhm.
And by him having such influence, and like you said, bouncing off of what you said, by him being a multimillionaire and, you know, high dollar, high fashion, da 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 da, now he kind of like gave away their secret, so to speak.
Right.
Kind of like whenever men got upset with Mr. Steve Harvey, whenever he was sharing with women
Mhm.
basically how to try to keep their cookies,
Mhm.
you know, or at least be selective,
Right. Right.
you know.
You
Why
know,
did
I
we
think
get mad? I did not understand that as a culture of black men. Why did we get mad at Steve?
I think a lot of people.
I didn't
I think
understand it.
some.
I can't
I think.
stand Steve. I can't stand Steve.
I think I think people felt like he was giving away game. But I'm gonna keep it real with
That's
you.
not get. Hmm. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just keep it real with you. I knew it. I knew that. I knew it wouldn't really work because you taking advice from a 50 at this time 50-something-year-old man. You as a 20-something-year-old woman, you taking advice from a 50-something-year-old man who been in 3 marriages. Not saying
Right.
that. Yeah, you know, and it's not to say that because you and I both have been married more than once, and it don't mean that you don't know what you're talking about. Actually, I think it lends to your experience, and you do have. But he was going at it from like an old school way. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Trying to tell new school women how to get a new age man, and it was just discombobulated. It just didn't work. But back to what with the Cam Newton thing. You check this out. The media and these women, they're actually doing the Cam what Will Smith did to Chris Rock. They're for something he said, they're literally smacking him for
Right.
something he said.
For some he said.
Everybody got a right to say what they want to say. He could have got on there and said something very derogatory. All he
Yeah.
said was all he did was give his perspective. And a lot of times that physical smack, just like when you used to get a whooping, some people would have rather had a whooping because it was physical. It was over with in
Right.
2 minutes.
It was over when it was over.
But that punishment took a
Right.
month. You couldn't go outside for a month. You couldn't be on the phone for a month. You couldn't play basketball
You
for a
felt
month.
that.
Right. So when they're literally smacking him financially, they're smacking him endorsement wise, they're smacking him. People, maybe a team was looking to draft to pick him up, and now they're looking at him like Cam got all this drama. So what the LBG, I don't know all the things, but that
It's all
community
good.
and sometimes these woke women, these independent women, especially I'm talking about the ones in this, what they're doing is they're literally smacking him, but it's not physical, but they're smacking him in every other avenue because of what he
That's that whole
said.
cancel culture bull crap.
Exactly.
Okay, let me address something that you just said. And I'm straight in alignment with my man Shula King on this one right here. Because actually before he put it out on his platform, I've been saying it for a long time, me and my wife. There is no such thing as an independent person. Number one, we are all genetically designed to socialize. Period. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much of a recruit you are. I don't care how much of of how much of a loner you want to be and all this stuff. We are all designed to socialize. If anything, what you're really trying to say is that you are self-sufficient.
Mm-hmm.
You are self-sufficient. Like my boy said, and this is the beautiful thing about being married. Okay. And I'm gonna put this out here. Just like how my man Fabulous said in his hook with my boy Neo, I'm a movement by myself, but I'm a force when we're together.
Exactly.
Okay. Don't get it twisted, man. We all need each other.
Right.
And and whoever you choose to walk this road, this path that we call life, don't let people on the outside influence what you got going on in the inside. And there is no such thing as a perfect marriage, as a perfect partnership. But what
Mm-hmm.
you do have is that you find somebody that just as messed up as you are, and y'all work it out.
Mm-hmm.
You work it out.
Right.
And that's it. Stop being so sensitive and so twisted, and I don't need nobody, da 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 da. You're going to be a very lonely person. You're gonna live a long time,
Mm-hmm.
but you're gonna be lonely.
Right. I saw a post about 2 days ago, and I don't know how. I didn't say anything. I didn't comment because I didn't want to open up a can of worms. But it said, "Girl, buy yourself those flowers," and it had like 3 illustration of women with holding flowers, And I was like, "Wow, are we? This is sad. Are we getting to the point that women really don't? We don't really need a man, and a man is really like." Man, there ain't no good ones out here, man. I'm gonna just dog her out. I'm gonna just, give her this $40 and you know what I'm saying, get my rocks off, or I'm gonna just get what I want from her. Cause when you and I both, we both talk to men, and this consensus out here is that it's slim pickings. I'm serious.
Yeah,
Like,
it
it's a
is.
good woman. And
Yeah.
and I get women feel the same way, and they're getting to this point, and that's back to what we talking about today. It's like, oh, I'm a boss B. I got everything on my own. I pay my own mortgage. I got my own house. I got my own this. But you still lonely. And on the
Yeah.
inside, like you said, we have an innate and eternal desire to want to be with another person. Now, today's society got us to the point where we would say maybe that's another woman instead of a man. But either way, like you said, everybody, it's no such thing as an independent person. People are
Mhm.
independent because they don't have somebody else to work with them. You know what I'm saying? And so then they start to praise themselves. Look what I did all by myself. You know what I'm saying? But it, I think it's good to have conversations like this because somebody needs to speak up and say, "Nah, you're not a boss B. I mean, you
No.
got this. That woman that took care of her kids and cooked and when he said know how to shut up, I'm sorry. Just like a man need to know how to shut up sometimes.
Exactly.
Women need to know how to shut up
I'm
sometimes.
glad you
You know
brought
what I'm
that
saying?
back around, my brother. Because one of the things that this feminist group, LGBT, lesbian, the beta males and all sorts of stuff, what it is that number one, we've lost what again, we've lost what partnership and all this stuff it really is based out of, and you can't get around it. You can't get around God. And
Nope.
again, this is elephant exposed, bro. So if you got a problem with it, then oh well. Basically, you cannot get around God. This is how he designed us. This is what we do. Now, men ourselves, we have came in and we have perverted everything. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I too, I am very well associated with everybody, with almost every um pronoun there is of the LGBTQIA
Mm-hmm.
LMNOP community. However, all right, it does not matter. The more we try to I say stroke people's ego, okay, I don't have a heaven and hell to put you in. That's on you. And I'll put it like that. But let's go back to what I was trying to say. The females have a problem with the word submission, and the
Mm-hmm.
men have a problem with taking it out of context and using it as a
Mm-hmm.
thing of slavery. You're both
Right.
wrong.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
so here's the thing. I'm gonna try to bring it real close together. Here's the thing. When you're talking about people like you and I, our households, is God, us, our wives, our children. That's it. Everybody submits to somebody. So let's start from the bottom up. This is what submission looks like. Children submit themselves to the parents. The parents are broken down, but then they're still together because that's the mystery of the marriage. How can two be one? Oh, well, wonder how. Okay, so the wife submits herself to the husband, while in the Lord, the man submits himself to God. Period. That's it. That's the nutshell.
Right.
Now what it looks like is this right here. No one is really greater than the other. Why? Because you're both following the the lifestyle that is set up by God.
Yeah.
And
But
and everything falls in place. It doesn't even feel like you're submitting,
right.
because and it doesn't the man is just the head.
Right.
It's like any other body or whatever. You have to have someone that is ultimately responsible. Okay, someone that is that's going to be held accountable for something either staying together or falling apart. So God says,
Right.
that's your role there, partner.
Right. And
Okay.
I think what happens with that, you know how people use, they don't never go to church. They don't know nothing
Yeah.
about God. They ain't interested in go,
And they
but
the
they
main one sitting up here trying to put out information. That makes me mad.
exactly. They'll use little, oh, spare the rod, spoil the child. Okay, you ain't never been to church. You need to submit. See, that's where it gets screwed up right there. You
Right.
want the woman to submit to you, but you don't want to submit to God. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So if in that aspect, that's where it gets screwed up. Some women have somewhere along the line submitted to a man who didn't want to work, put his hands on her, was out here in these streets,
Yep.
didn't want to be a father figure. And
Yep.
so I do think that did lend itself to why we are where we are, where so many women raising kids by themselves. So many women had to become that quote unquote boss B, because and that boss B started out as a humble woman who was just trying to make it.
Right.
But
She didn't have a
when
choice. She had to step up.
exactly, but somewhere along the way, with the Cardi B's and the Nicki Minaj's and the I forgot the other one, Megan Thee Stallion, these type of people, they started to, even Lizzo, they started to feed that. I'm not calling women monsters, but they fed that personality that was a monster, and it was like they got to the point. It was like, I don't need no man. I can do this myself. I'm a boss B. If a man gonna come do something for me, like I saw something yesterday where a woman said, from no longer is a man getting her all. He's gonna get the bare minimum until he can level up and put a ring on her finger. And I was like, that is so sad, because it used to be we come into it like if I'm a man, I'm gonna impress you. I'm gonna show you what life with me would be like. But now
Right.
you got a certain sector of women saying, you know what? I've been heartbroken. I've done all this by myself. So a man coming to my world, he's gonna get the bare minimum until he show me. And the baby girl, I hate to tell you, but if you come into a relationship with that attitude, you're gonna be a boss B the rest of your life. Because no man, men are not gonna wife that. We're not gonna wife that. We're not gonna, you know what I'm saying, take ourselves off the market for some, and we like it's like a mystery. I wonder how she'll be if I, put a ring on her finger. No, ma'am.
Right.
No, ma'am. No.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just,
I see a lot of cats in your future.
yeah.
Okay, y'all. Well, listen, we're gonna go ahead and wrap that up, man. With that being said, man, we appreciate you hanging out with us again. This is Elephant Exposed with my main man, my co-host, Mr. Duane Stinson, and I am your host, Mr. CJ Jones. And if you want to hear more, and if you or continuation, if you of this show, please let us know. Hit us up in the comments, and we'll get back at you, and we will do this for you. Other than that, guys, we appreciate you hanging. And y'all be easy. All right. Y'all take care.
Peace.